Alright, so I filmed this before, but I never published it, so I was over near here. Yeah, this is the original Florida East Coast Railway headquarters. These 3 buildings right here that were combined together with the breezeway to make one. Let me do this little plaque thing over here. Anyway, I worked in this building. I worked right there, building C. We didn't have that. Now that's something that Flagler. So it's Flagler now. We gave it to Flagler. I say we. The railroad gave it to Flagler, but right here on Malaga Street, just on the edge of downtown St. Augustine, Florida. All right, Matty Gugas here in St. Augustine again. This theme on this one is FEC and St. Augustine are synonymous. So here I am back at the old headquarters. Right here on Malaga Street. That was the first building. If you read that plaque that was in the other video. Building 1, Building 2, and Building 3. Of course, Flagler has renamed them A, B, and C. Stay tuned, I'm going to walk downtown. All right, Matty Gugas here on King Street in St. Augustine. Right on the edge of the historic area. This is King Street, the main thoroughfare. I'll tie this together when I go back up there, past the old headquarters, FEC, and film tonight's train, or you can just take my word for it. But this is King Street, and the buildings are right up there. Here we go, the historic Flagler College building that was a hotel. And then you got the Flagler, I know this for sure. Flagler built the Casa Monica here. There's Casa hotels, that's the theme. 6 or 7 of them, 5, 6 or 7 of them, I'm not even positive. But here's Casa Monica in St. Augustine. This is now the Leitner Museum, but it was another hotel that was built in the Flagler days, but look at the architecture. Kept with the Spanish too. But all right, so I'm gonna stop and give you a little more. I'm not gonna belabor this, but I wanted to get you the lay of the land. I'm not sure the history of that really tall building there through the trees, but I'm gonna find out. All right, so Matty Gugas here. This is Old Town, and it's May, so there's not that many people here, which is why I'm here filming. If I did this shot on a busy time, all you'd see was people. Right, so this is the building I'm talking about. It does have a little tower on it. And the reason my popcorn is in the picture is I just made this girl's day in the popcorn store. Thank you, Dad. Love you. Anyway, more details later. All right, well, I got some research to do. The building appears to be empty. There's this, it's called the Treasury, and then they got this Treasury luxury historic wedding venue. Here's the front of the building. Anyway, there's no plaque. I'll find out more. Stay tuned for the train, FEC. All right, so while I'm here, right next door, of course, is the Cathedral Basilica. That's the clock tower. I'm on the way back, or the way up to the train tracks. Anyway, here's the other side of the Casa Monica. It's a beautiful hotel, luxury hotel. Sorry for the construction, but Flagler College always growing. There's a nice view of historic King Street in St. Augustine, Florida. All right, so here I am walking up King Street just to tie it all together. There's the old headquarters. I'm not filming you guys. And of course, right behind there, which I will film the other side, is the train tracks. Stay tuned. All right, so I can see the train already. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna have to do that other thing after. Show you the building on this side. Here we go. FEC 107. on this Tuesday, May the 20th. All right. You don't see that every day. The container on top of a flat rack. Anyway, I'm glad this train was right when I got here because I'm going home from here. There you go. Today's FEC train 107. Right, here's the tracks. Right outside on the edge of historic St. Augustine, Florida. All right, Matty Gukas here in St. Augustine, Florida again. State Road 207, and this day, starting out right, it's Thursday, May 15th. I can't believe it's halfway through May already. Anyway, my youngest son graduates from high school next Saturday. But here comes one of the northbounds. I'm gonna film it, and then we're gonna do something different today. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. All right, I'm gonna try to get the gates activating here. We'll trim it. No, right on cue. Just a reminder, well, this is State Road 207. Sorry, was I talking during that? Okay, this is State Road 207. I like this spot because the Kookaburra is right over there. They open in a few minutes. As soon as this train goes by, I can go get my 2 hot teas, and then we're going fishing. I'm going to film a little bit of it, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. All right, listen up. All right, nice train this morning with a lot of manifest. That's about as much manifest as you're going to see on any train here at the Florida East Coast. Most of that came out of Fort Pierce, no doubt. Fort Pierce is our manifest yard down south. All right, stay tuned for fishing. All right, Matty Gookus here. Again, I'm not going to go crazy, but we're going to do a little something different today. And we're going to film some fishing. The elusive redfish. We were at the Devil's Elbow Fishing Resort. That's behind me. Here in Crescent Beach, Florida. Stay tuned. So this is the Intracoastal Waterway. Of course, you got the Matanzas Inlet not far from here for the Atlantic Ocean. It's beautiful here. There's my guide boat. My dad was a big fisherman. My dad and I. He would kill me if I knew what I was paying to go fishing, but thank you, Dad. God bless you. We're out here in the Devil's Elbow Flats with the famous Captain Lehman. I don't know if he wants to be on camera. I don't like to film people without their permission, but I'll mention his name anyway. Wait till we catch some fish. All right, well, we've seen some fish, but we got a moon situation going on. It's driving the fish crazy or not biting. We had two potential hits so far, but Mr. Gookus here doesn't know how to fish this redfish yet. Too impatient. Anyway, stay tuned. We're going to have some fish eventually. All right, we got some shark activity. The little one. Just chowing away. There you go. That's not what we're here for, though. Alright, there's the infamous Fort Matanzas. You can see the inlet down there, the Matanzas Inlet. You can read about that in history if you don't know about it, but this is it right here, Fort Matanzas. Hey, there it is, folks. I hope you can hear me, but that's the Matanzas Inlet. Go around the Matty Gugas here again. I don't know how much of that you got, but this is it. Famous Matanzas Inlet. Like I said, you can go around the world and you don't find a spot much better than this. Whoa! Tide's coming in. It hits about 8 knots when it's coming through here. Is that about right? Yep. Yeah. Which is cooking. Alright, Matty Gugas here in Jacksonville at the historic Kings Road North, but I'm going to head south and film this train going over the bridge in St. Augustine for my theme this video. But I was up here, I had to come to a store, and I wanted to make sure this train was running today. Looks like it got a decent bit of manifest on it. Alright, Matty Gugas here in St. Augustine again, just outside of town. US 1 bridge next to the train bridge, and we're going to film the 107. Stay tuned. Alright, here we go. I'm not going to talk today. We're going to put one of my son's longest songs on here. Going unusually slow. Okay, listen up. massive 107 today on this Saturday, May 17th. There you go. Did you see the train lurch forward there about a little after the 4-minute mark? That means the head end of the train was past the 207 crossing where he can pick up speed. All right, Matty Gookies here. I'm back at the State Road 206 crossing. I saw Terry, the signalman here. He was kind enough to tell me when I was here before that the train was going to be another hour. So I did my shopping. Thank you, Terry. And now I'm back here waiting on today's 105. All right, Matty Gookies here again at my home crossing, State Road 206. Waiting on today's train 105 for Florida East Coast Railway. I got my new tool of the trade. Thanks to the person who called the police and the railroad on me last week. 2 weeks now. It made the freaking train stop here. All right, here we go. Today's 105 right here in State Road 206, St. Augustine, Florida. Stay tuned. All right, here we go. I was just about to turn the camera. I'm going to get him blasting out of the short lead-in. I don't know what you call that. Another big train. I'm gonna have to stop saying massive because they're all massive now, but the beauty of that long train is I can fit one of my son's short songs on there for a train going at track speed. Anyway, I'm out.